Good morning and welcome to Stock Talk with Ricky and Goose. STN, we are a leading trading community. We have free trading floors as well as premium HD trading rooms. Come join us today. If you have questions about any of the ideas we discuss, please DM us. All of our instructors are eager to help. Make sure you register today. As always, the disclaimer is important. We remind you nothing we mentioned this morning is a solicitation to trade, but simply being discussed for informational purposes. Please read our full disclaimer below in the description. As continuing on, my partner Goose is off desk this morning, so I'm going to be flying solo, guys. But let's get right into it. I think we have a great show for you this morning. First thing on my list is IMMR. Now, I've discussed them before back on January 29th, which was the day they had the big gap up. And I believe that was based on news of a settlement with Apple as well as some sort of licensing agreement where they did not disclose any of the details. Always love those kinds of deals. Now today they're gapping on earnings that came out last night, and I'm not sure if the market really read the actual report, but it was horrendous. Decreased revs, decreased royalties. They burn like $4 million a month, and let's not forget, this is not a biotech. These guys have revenues, yet they aren't even enough to cover their general and administrative expenses, let alone all of the other expenses. On top of that, they lost $28.6 million in 2017, yet in 2018, they plan to net 35 to 46 million. Get the out of here. Come on, guys. Anyway, as always, we need to respect price, so I don't plan on stepping in front of a moving train. They have a high institutional ownership, although it is not what you will see on FinViz. If you want to know the actual percentage, you can calculate it yourself, or you can simply join us over at stocktraders.net, where I openly share those kinds of things with the community. So, from a technical perspective, you can see this thing is flirting with the long-term downtrend on the weekly chart, as well as that 12 level, which has held price down for quite some time. If this thing wants to show strength over that 12 level, I'm not going to touch it till we get some extension into the 14 to 15 range. However, if this level ends up rejecting price, I will look to get short on a setup using that as my risk. And I have a rough target on this one for about $10 on the name. So next up on the list is MYSZ. And let's take this off the weekly. You guys can see this daily here. They had a big day yesterday coming off the lows from a very large retrace off of the recent highs. They did an offering in December. They did another one at the beginning of this month. The warrants from the most recent one are way up around 265, but I have trouble believing they're going to get the price up there anytime soon. My thinking is that the 3 million in common bought at $2 will probably dead any move that approaches 230 to 250. They also just voted to raise the authorized share count from 50 million to 100 million. Now, why would they want to do that? Anyways, from a technical perspective, you can see that this 220-ish area is where I'll start to get interested. As always, I'm going to need it to set up correctly for me personally to ever put my capital at risk. You must stay focused on capital preservation. Without proper risk management, these shitty companies can do some major damage to your accounts, guys. Next up on the list is CBIO. And I know I may catch some flack for this one since last week I was extremely bearish on this company. However, it's important to know that we as traders are not supposed to get married to these ideas. We just flip them, rip them, and then we forget them. And besides, I can still be long-term bearish on a company and take a long day trade on it. We know stocks don't just move in straight lines no matter what time frame you're looking at. With CBIO, the thesis is pretty straightforward. They did an offering, they priced it at 34, and now we've had 7 straight red days of sell-off, and we're currently approaching 25. I'll be looking for some sort of short covering and a long setup to present itself, and you can also see that on the daily, this is the level where it consolidated last and broke out from that it's kind of testing right here. The last ticker I want to touch on is MYSZ. Now, this was a huge sell-off on what didn't seem to be that bad of earnings yesterday. They did cut the dividend for the future quarters, and the company did seem to sound like they may be struggling to figure out a way to straighten out the ship. But I don't think this large of a move was warranted. I'll watch for this thing to show it found a bottom and wants to start putting in some higher highs and higher lows. I feel like a lot of yesterday's move was emotional, and now that the dust is settled, many people may want back in. Now, with Goose being off the desk today, it's going to be a little shorter of an episode, and that actually wraps it up for me and Stock Talk. So please, guys, if you like this broadcast, show us some love, thumbs up, a share on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. As always, plan your trade your plan, stay safe. Let's go out there and crush it, guys. Peace.